Way, we have a hostile bid to talk about. You excited about hostile bids?
Anytime the word hostile is used, yes, you could bet.
I love it.
Yeah, I have to read the article. Yes.
Yeah, this is like just stupid money that is being offered here. So after last week's apparent bid being won by Netflix for the rights to the streaming and studio businesses of Warner Brothers Discovery, it was thought upon that this was a very likely response that Paramount Skydance would have. They've already mounted a campaign about how this was an unfair process, that Netflix was like the favored entity from the get-go, very similar to the ongoing shareholder lawsuit against Vince McMahon and the WWF, with Endeavor sort of being earmarked as they were always going to get this company. It's kind of a similar argument that Paramount Skydance had. So they have now put their money where their mouth is, and they are putting forth an all-cash offer of $30 per share. This is a ridiculous amount above the amount that WBD stock is trading at. That would give this all in a value of $108.4 billion. That compares to Netflix's offer of like $87.4 billion off the top of my head. That includes debt. That's all in, but this is an all cash deal. And the big difference is that Netflix is bidding for the streaming and studio businesses. Paramount is bidding for everything of Warner Brothers, which would include the cable assets, which would be they were going to be siphoned off under the appropriately named Shitco. That's apparently what Wall Street likes to refer to that bundle of businesses. So the Paramount proposal was made today, and in this extensive press release, which is just like professionally written shit talk, Paramount outlined that despite submitting 6 proposals over the course of 12 weeks, WBD never engaged meaningfully with these proposals, which we believe deliver the best outcome for WBD shareholders. Paramount has now taken its offer directly to WBD shareholders and its board of directors to ensure they have the opportunity to pursue this clearly superior alternative. And David Ellison, he was doing some of the rounds today, but essentially, this offer for the entirety of WBD will provide shareholders $18 billion more in cash than the Netflix consideration. WBD's board of directors' recommendation of the Netflix transaction over Paramount's offer is based on an illusory prospective valuation of global networks that is unsupported by the business fundamentals and encumbered by high levels of financial leverage assigned to the entity. I mean, if there's one guy that is like reading this press release and going outside for a cigarette afterwards, we know who we're talking about, aren't we? Like this is Christmas, like several weeks early, is it not?
You know, I'm sure he's having quite the
and everybody suffers from FOMO.
Yeah. Well, again, just like the initial report, I mean, this is a story that really exceeds beyond the walls of professional wrestling. Of course, wrestling is affected by it, but much more of your entertainment is affected by it than this, and so you're getting a lot of people talking about this, having their opinion on it, really explaining it.
A lot of people that are just pretty much just, it's all speculation and guesswork. Like anyone that is saying this is what's going to happen is like, nobody can say that of like where this is going to land and what this is going to mean for the trickle down effect is just like, there's no way to look at this of like how this is going to impact the companies like an AEW or even a WWE or a UFC for that matter. I mean, that is just so far down the priority list. And I think that's like, this is going to be like a really intensive battle between these companies for control of Warner Brothers Discovery. And it's probably going to get the lion's share of the attention until one bid is accepted. And remember, like if this bid falls apart for Netflix, there's an enormous breakup fee of like $5.8 billion just if this deal with Netflix doesn't go through.
Yeah. And if WBD chooses the Paramount offer, they too have to pay a penalty, much less, 2-point-something billion, but Netflix will, could stand to make some money even if they lose out on this as well. I mean, from this point forward, what happens? Do the shareholders have to decide whether or not they want to accept? What is the next step in all of this?
I mean, this will come down to like the board of directors and assessing like what is the better deal for them. I mean, remember the fact that Paramount is making this offer for the entire company. There could be the argument that under the Netflix deal, we still retain all the cable assets. And yes, those are declining businesses, but there is still is there still
that's
enough?
The argument for why $30 per share may not actually be a higher bid. Because
you're taking like CNN and all of your TNT sports, you're wrapping it into this this
you're
expanded
assuming
bid.
that the difference between $30 and 28.75 is made up essentially by CNN and all of the Discovery Global networks, which WBD will argue is worth a lot more than what you're pricing it at. Netflix will probably make that argument as well. So there's still a lot to be contended with. And if you're just like any of these sort of trickle down properties like an AEW, you're letting like these big wigs kind of fight it out while at the same time you're riding out your own contract and focus on yourself until
it's just got to be business as usual. Like you have zero control of this outcome and what it's even going to matter. I mean, yes, there is a very if you're looking way down the aisle of what this is going to end up with. Like there's, it's like AEW could end up owned by the WWE broadcast partner or the UFC broadcast partner. And what does that mean? Like, you just don't know. You don't know. Could be good, could be bad. It's like, this could be years away from being finalized. I know that Netflix and WBD said 12 to 18 months, but there was always going to be significant interruption by Paramount, and today represented that.
Yeah. Just even looking at this, Paramount in this big website that they've released. Of course. Building a Stronger Hollywood, strongerhollywood.com. Okay. This is it's just so fun to really kind of look at this and look at all the PR messaging. They're really trying to appeal to the public to argue that, hey, if we took control of this instead of Netflix, overall your experience with the movies and the movie industry will be much healthier. That's really one of their main sort of public messaging things. Beyond that, they want to tell...
Remember these things called movie theaters that none of you go to anymore? We want to save that.
I mean, who can say that they're necessarily wrong, though? Is it necessarily true that if this went to Netflix, can we be sure that the movie industry wouldn't necessarily take a hit given how Netflix chooses to roll out their movies? It could be right. One of their other arguments is that the path to closing this is much clearer for Paramount if they took control because of their ties to Trump, and this was pretty.
Well, not tonight. Tonight, Donald Trump saying how this new management's as bad as the old management. It's like, I think these are all games, and I think you just sit back. This is stupid money that we are talking about that could probably cure 60% of world hunger if some of these funds were distributed, but instead it's for the right to control their pipeline to you, the consumer.
Yeah. And it's not just affecting your professional wrestling, but really cable news, CNN, this is for control of that. It's for control of they already control CBS. Your movies, your movie properties, HBO, DC Comics. All of this stuff is wrapped up in this.
December on the Post Wrestling Cafe, we have 2 editions of Rewind Away set for you, including a patron's pick where you have voted for us to review the Survivor Series from 1991, Hulk Hogan's Gravest Challenge. Then it's over to 2002 and a review of the very first WWE draft involving Raw and SmackDown as they kick off the brand extension. David Bixenspan is going to join me as we review Video Killed the Radio Star, a documentary on Bubba the Love Sponge, and the sex tape involving Hulk Hogan. Plus, we will have reviews of TNA Final Resolution, New Japan's World Tag League Final, Collision Course every single week, and XL editions of Rewind of Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. Sign up now at postwrestlingcafe.com.